Guys, I am livid. I am livid. So fair warning, I will be speaking with a pretty high tone in terms of a lot of energy and anger. You will be sensing that. You can go as far as to say I might even be triggered. And for good reason. I am sick and fucking tired of watching this country burn because of the spineless, cowardly, fucking cringe monarch Democrats, right? That sit by and don't do shit while this country gets ravished by a cult, by a fucking cult, by a buffoon, a guy who should be one of the easiest people to stand up against in the room. However, for one reason or another, these Democrats believe that sticking to some age-old fucking false idea that the entire world, what they want to see is you acting on this moral high horse of inaction where all you do is just go shame, shame, shame and fucking wave signs and wear colors in the face of oppression and not anarchy, fucking authoritarianism, fascism, dictatorship. You're doing nothing. Last night was one of the most disgusting and disturbing events I could recall, just of everything I've ever known or seen in regards to the United States. Disgusting. I cannot believe that only one motherfucking person on the left had the balls to do what was needed to be done last night. We should be talking right now about how the entire Democratic wing was forced out of the Congress chambers because they decided to stand up and speak and make noise and fight against Donald Trump and these retards on the right. That's what should have fucking happened. But instead, we see dumb shit like this bitch right here holding a sign saying this is not normal. Then they go home after this all goes down and they slap each other on the backs and pretend like they did something for this country. Meanwhile, the entire time, Trump was shitting on them, pissing on them, bitch slapping them in the face, talking shit to their face, and what is their reaction? We got dumb shit like Elizabeth Warren clapping and smiling and saying yes for some reason in response to a direct insult to her face. What, does she like that shit? Do they think that this sends any type of message other than the Dems have cucked out and sold out? They haven't done a fucking thing. Last night was their opportunity because they finally had the eyes in the entire country. It wasn't just the left wing side of the country. It was both sides of the country were watching last night. And they did fuck all. They sat around, they zipped up their lips, they sat down like the bitches they are, and all they did was wave some signs and wear some colors. And they really thought they sent a message. They really thought they sent a fucking message. Disgusting. Meanwhile, this guy's vomiting bullshit. He's fucking saying nothing. He's saying the same lies. He's turning the State of the Union address into another one of his rallies. That's all we saw. That's all we saw. All you see is these fuckers on the right clapping like seals, clapping like fucking walruses every time Donald Trump says something. He comes in, he's like, "Hello, America," and they start clapping for 10 whole fucking minutes. I was wondering if they were going to ever stop. And it reminded me of when I was reading 1984 with my girlfriend about how when they saw something on the television that was supposed to be support for the main party, they had to clap. And they would be so afraid of clapping, of being the first person to stop clapping because they don't want something to happen to them, that they just kept clapping forever. It's fucked. It's so fucked. I hate this shit. It was disgusting. I am fucking mad. I'm mad enough. I'm mad enough that this morning, not only did I send messages and emails to all of the email addresses and whatever fucking sources I could find to reach out to many of these congressmen, but I'm also going to call these fuckers right here on stream and fucking we'll call every single one of their offices. I'm gonna leave a message because I know most of them are not even gonna pick the fuck up, but I'm gonna give them an earful because I'm sick and fucking tired of them resorting to dumb fucking shit, cringy ass shit, ineffective ass messages, and thinking they did something for this fucking country. It is frustrating. This man right here, the only patriot in the room. This guy, only patriot in this room. The only motherfucker willing to do what all these other spineless cowards didn't do. Al Green, the representative from Texas. Fucking, I salute you, man. When I saw you stand up, I was praying to fucking God that every single one of these other dipshits would stand up with you and say something and do something. I want to see this asshole try to force the entire Democratic left wing out of this building and make it that the entire thing about last night. But they didn't. The messaging wasn't there. What could that have sent to the American people? It would have inspired us to finally get the fuck out, protest, fight for our country, instead of sitting around twiddling our thumbs, rushing to Twitter to spread messages of, oh, whatever they said was wrong and I didn't like it. Just like Elizabeth Warren did the whole fucking time. Just like Senator, what's this fucking dipshit's name? What's his name? This asshole, Hakeem Jeffries, fucking Malene Stansberry, who was a bitch who was holding up the stupid ass sign, right? Of course they don't give a fuck about that shit. You could see immediately. What was the first thing this guy did when he saw, what was the first thing the right did when they saw they're holding that fucking sign? Watch this guy reach over, and, wow, they clipped it out. Of course they did. He reached over, ripped it out of her hand, and threw it across the fucking room. They don't care about that stuff. They don't care about that stuff. No one hears that. It falls on nothing, on deaf ears. That's what it falls on. It's disgusting. You see this? You see this? This is what they did. And then they wore t-shirts that said words on the back that nobody fucking reads. Which, by the way, the right doesn't read. They're fucking illiterate. MAGA's illiterate. You really think they're gonna see that shit and be like, ah, you really told us there? They don't even fucking read in the first place. You think they're gonna read your signs? You really think they're gonna see that and be like, oh wow, you're right. Musk does steal. Oh wow, right. You have to save Medicaid. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Please remove yourselves from office and allow some people who actually have youth and vigor and an idea of what the fuck that needs to be done in the face of this regime. Get them into office. Let them represent us, because I'm sick of this shit. I'm so sick of this shit. 10 fucking years of this nonsense. And they still think it's gonna work. Oh, by the way, this dipshit decided to finally wear a suit after all the criticism that he was receiving for, you know, talking shit about Zelensky for not wearing a suit. Meanwhile, this guy was walking around in a trench coat and a fucking hat, right? But then all of a sudden, now he's in a suit. Fucking bullshit. Draining the swamp by filling it with the swamp. Fucking dumb fuck. Listen, look at this. This guy, look at what he did. I was cheering and clapping when Al Green stood up and did this shit. You know what they could have done? You know what they could have done? They could have all got up with him and started chanting and singing the national anthem and fucking rioting. I want them to do that. I do. We need them to do that. I'm not gonna lie. We need shit like this. What is it? Fuck, I can't find it. Whatever. When New Zealand was an indigenous tribe, rose up and they started doing their fucking dances and they ripped up the sheets of paper. I want to see that shit. I want to see when I see Congress, they fucking one side literally just breaks down into a brawl. I'm not just saying this because I want entertainment. I want to see this because I want the American people to understand the dire situation that we are in right now. We are in a fucked situation, and this country needs to fight for it. We need to fight for it. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is bullshit. Listen, this is what he has to say after the whole debacle, right? Let me pause this for y'all.
The president said he had a mandate. And I was making it clear to the president that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. I have people who are very fearful. These are poor people, and they have only Medicaid in their lives when it comes to their health care. And I want him to know that his budget calls for deep cuts in Medicaid. He needs to save Medicaid, protect it. We need to raise the cap on Social Security. There's a possibility that it's going to be hurt.
You see this? You see this? Because of what he had done, right? He gets to go on camera and speak about whatever message that he said, right? The entire Democratic wing could have done this and done more than just this. We could have had some efficient messaging, we could have made our stand, and we could have inspired American people. And we lost this opportunity. God knows when we'll get this opportunity again, if we ever do. I do not think we will. And instead, now we're talking about dumb dipshit stuff like this, about how Trump swore in a 13-year-old kid who had cancer into the Secret Service, right? Which, of course, you know, now we have to discuss what the fuck this even fucking means, or what this is even for. Great for that kid, but he just finished telling everybody that they're gonna have to suffer some financial setbacks. We all gonna have to fall apart essentially in terms of the economy for him to pass these tariffs, and so he could also do dumb shit like promote free speech, meanwhile kicking people out of the chambers just for fucking standing up and speaking against him, right? Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. So join me in calling these motherfuckers. I'm taking out my phone. I am not lying. I am not lying about this. I want to call them. I need them to hear. And I encourage everybody else to do the same. If you're just as fucking pissed off about this shit as I am, I encourage you to call all of these people. Call our senators, call the people who sat around and watch our country burn and not stand up and set an example for the American people.
This is Representative Melanie Stansberry. Please leave a message at the tone and we will get back to you as soon as possible.
That was pretty short. Wow. All right. So last night, Melanie Stansberry, you and the entire Democratic left wing were supposed to represent us in this country and make a stand against the right wing, right? All we saw y'all do was cower and bitch out, holding signs, doing nothing, wearing clothes, thinking that would actually inspire the American public, and it did not. Y'all should have stand up with Al Green and stood against this, made some noise, sang the national anthem, and forced them to kick you out and make a statement and show the American people that they're supposed to stand and do something about what's happening. But it seems like y'all are so inefficient with messaging that everyone isn't even aware of the dire situation that this country now stands in. Y'all need to do better. Stop being cowards. Stop being bitches. Get arrested. Start doing activism. Protest. Encourage us to fight back instead of sitting around and watching y'all do nothing. All right, that was one down, right? Because I don't even give a fuck. They got my message and they also got my email, so they already got my contact information. I'm gonna call them almost every day and do this shit. Almost every fucking day and do this shit. We need to make them feel uncomfortable, and we need them to hear that we are concerned, right? This is exactly the type of stuff that we need to do instead of sitting around doing fucking jack shit. Is that Coney Island? No, it's not.
Thank you for contacting the office of Congressman Hakeem.
It sounds like the same person that did the
Our
other
office
voicemail.
hours are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. If you have a question or comment about Leader Jeffries' work in Washington or in Brooklyn, please leave a detailed message containing your name, address, and contact number, as well as the nature of your inquiry.
They'll never pick up,
Also
by
visit
the way.
jeffries.house.gov and leave a written comment and find more resources. Have a wonderful day.
Hakeem Jeffries You and the entire left wing had failed us last night. And y'all are so inefficient and ineffective with messaging because y'all do nothing at all except sit around and wave signs and wear colors as if you think that's going to mean anything to the American people, especially those on the right. It does not. Instead, it puts out the message that y'all are too scared to do anything about this. The only person in that room who was a real patriot last night was Al Green. Y'all should have followed his example and force their hand and make them feel as uncomfortable as possible so you can inspire those on the left in this country who actually give a damn about this nation to fight back. Because when we see our leaders cowering and whimpering in the corner like bitches, no one wants to do anything and they've lost hope. Give us something to hope on. For the fuck's sake, instead of sitting around tweeting, meanwhile he's talking shit to you to your face, and you're sitting there smiling, clapping, accepting it like the little cucks you are. Please, for the love of God, do some work. I'm gonna be calling y'all, every single one of y'all congressmen and women, as often as I can, to remind you that y'all are doing jack shit. And you should be ashamed of yourself. Jesus fucking Christ. One more. Senator Warren, right, who really annoyed the fuck out of me last night when she was clapping back and smiling and tweeting about her nonsense, right? Because the entire time they're talking, she's on Twitter. I could see it. She's on Twitter, just posting messages about how wrong they are. The only people who will see that, which, by the way, if you look at her page, it's mostly just comments from Trump supporters talking shit about her. But the only people who will ever see that are people who are already like following her, I guess, and who are already on her side and agree with her. Like, they're just, circle jerking each other at this point?
Thank you for calling the office of Senator Elizabeth Warren in Washington, D.C. So we can best serve you, please listen carefully to the following menu options. If you're calling from Massachusetts and would like to share your opinion with the senator, please press 1. If you're calling from Massachusetts to request help with a federal agency, please press 2 to be connected with one of our
She has like the most complicated one
If
so
you're calling
far.
from outside of Massachusetts, please press 3. If you're calling about a scheduling or event request, please press 4. If you're a member of the press calling with a request for our communications team, please press 5.
What was it, 3?
For all other inquiries or to speak to a member of our staff, please press 6.
You know what?
Thank you for
I'm
calling.
gonna go 6, because I would like them to hear this.
Thank you for reaching out to Senator Warren's DC office. After the tone, please leave a
I knew it! He'll never get to speak to staff. He'll never get to speak to staff. It never happens.
Thank you again for calling and have a great day.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
You failed us, Warren. You and the entire left-wing party failed us last night at the State of the Union. Y'all had the eyes of the entire country on you, both sides, and y'all decided to take the cuck behavior approach of sitting down, saying nothing, and thinking that the most ineffective messaging possible, the cringiest shit possible, signs and colors, was enough to make any movement in the heart of the American people, to do something about what's going on. They're not even aware about how bad the situation is because y'all are so ineffective with messaging. You expect that only and just only symbols and rhetoric and slogans is enough to make change happen? That's bullshit. Y'all should have followed Al Green's steps. We need activism. We need protests. We need actual movements fighting back, causing chaos, and allowing them to feel as uncomfortable as possible and make their lives as miserable as possible in order to make change. It makes no sense that you think that this is enough. Instead, you embarrass yourselves. Why is it that your response to getting shit talked to your face is to smile and clap and shake your head up and down, yes, as if you agree with everything Trump is saying? What is wrong with you guys? You're so disconnected. You're so old. Please bring some people in who have actual power, actual vigor, actual energy, and who give a shit about this country enough to make movements happen. You are embarrassing us.
Maximum length for...
Fuck you! Alright, that's enough. That's how we make shit happen. Call your peoples! Call your peoples!